In this video, we'll show you how to interpret your baseline Slack data on Produce 8, so you can understand how you work and recover time for focus. If you haven't set up a Produce 8 account yet, please check out our previous video where we walk you through step-by-step how to connect Produce 8 to Slack. Once you've got Slack linked and accumulated about a week's worth of baseline data, it's time to analyze. Let's go into the timeline and answer some big questions. We recommend writing your answers down so that you can reflect on it later after you've made changes to your Slack usage. The first question, did the data resemble what you imagined? Seeing your workday in this fashion for the first time can be shocking. On a regular day, we don't count the times we click into Slack, so we don't really know the scale of the problem. It's like listening to a recording of your voice and saying, do I really sound like that? Next, we want to know, did you notice any patterns, such as interactions with Slack that lasted less than 20 seconds? Did you see Slack-free moments during the workday where you went more than 30 minutes without checking the app? How about 15 minutes? Often we think we have Slack under control, but when we look at the timeline, we are checking Slack all day long. This habit of toggling back and forth between apps causes us to context switch, which when we see it happening over and over during the course of the day, adds up to a lot of lost productive time. For the next set of questions, let's jump over to the Metrics tab. How many times do you check Slack per day? This is seen in your interactions. How long does each view in Slack last on average? This is your average duration in the app. If you have a lot of interactions in Slack, there's a likelihood that you are checking in and out of Slack regularly. If you have a short average duration in Slack, that means that you aren't performing any deep, meaningful engagement in Slack. You're just going in, checking your notifications, and then leaving. Now we've identified the issue, let's talk about making a change so that we can fix it. First, we will set a quantifiable goal. Let's keep it simple. We want to reduce interactions by 25%. Stick with just interactions to start. You can also study average duration in Slack as well, and aim to get that number to increase. But if this is your first time running one of these studies, it's a good idea to make it easy and focus on just one metric. Once you have a goal, you can pick the change that will allow you to hit that target. We recommend you start with some low-hanging fruits. In this case, modifying the Slack configurations. Here are some simple configurations you can make. Number 1, turn off or limit your Slack notifications. Slack enables you to turn off notifications for mentions, direct messages, specific channels, huddles, and more. This is a great place to start if you're noticing a lot of short interactions in Slack. Number 2, optimize your channels. A possible cause of distraction is that you're involved in too many channels, some of which might not be useful for your daily work. You can choose to mute some of the noisier channels or leave them completely. Number 3, try different messaging methods. When messaging is chaotic, it's hard to keep up with conversations. This can lead to confusion, misunderstandings, and therefore unnecessary back and forth in Slack. Try using threads for longer messages or summarizing the main points with too long didn't read or TLDR. You can also use audio and huddles instead of text to clarify or even use videos or screen recording to add context to your thoughts. If you want to focus and collaborate with your team later, but you don't want to forget a thought, you can also make a practice scheduling your messages for a later time. Number 4, apply Slack best practices. There are some best practices that will help you to stay focused and use Slack more effectively. But in order to know if they will work for you, you must test them. If you believe that the reason you check Slack regularly is because you want to give your team visibility to your work, you should consider setting status or do not disturb. You can set a period of time where your team can see that you're out of office, or on a break, or even in focus mode. This way, you won't feel guilty for taking time away from Slack. If you're someone who works with more than one monitor on your desk, and one always has Slack open, considering turning it off and keeping both free of distractions. There are a lot of changes you can make when it comes to Slack configurations. We recommend choosing one to start. Making change can be uncomfortable, and it will take a while to get used to this new style of working. If you catch yourself unintentionally checking Slack, don't worry. Just gently redirect your focus back to your tasks. Now that you have your change in place, keep working, and don't worry about the data just yet. If you feel compelled to see how things are going, you can check the Produce 8 daily reports we send to your email inbox every morning. We hope this video has helped you to make changes to your Slack usage, and you're excited to see some impactful results. In our next video, we will show you how to compare your baseline week with the changes you've made here in this video. We'll see you there.